All right. Yeah, I sent an email, but I don't know if they're able to see it yet. So, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I didn't get. I had to clean off my computer. My computer is having issues, so I'm running defragmentation right now on it.
Well, Larry, just so you know, I did hear what you said, and I do appreciate you guys bringing that to attention. Thank you.
So you agree that it's probably coming to new business?
Well, it really depends, guys. I want to make sure that we get through all of the agenda first.
So would it be better under communication, since that's at the end, just as an announcement that if someone wants to do it, then they could just contact me? Would that be better?
That's correct. Yes.
My thinking.
Yeah.
I was thinking.
Yep. So
go ahead, Vice Chairman.
You can put it under communication.
Okay.
I was thinking that would work good too, but I was thinking that if we have to consider doing something about it, it would be under new business. That's what I'd figure. But either way.
Well, I have to call the meeting to order because it is 4:02. Kennedy, are we at a quorum?
Yes, we have a quorum.
All right. Well, thank you and welcome everybody to today's Commission on Disability Issues meeting on Wednesday, May 15th, 4 p.m. I do appreciate everyone's attendance today. Just to let everybody know, this meeting will be broadcast live on CTN cable channel 16 and on AT&T channel 99 and online at a2gov.org/watchctn. And to speak during public comment, please call toll free at 877-853-5247 or 888-788-0099 and enter meeting ID 919-8673-1455. Now that this meeting has been called to order, we can do roll call. Kennedy, before we begin, do we have closed captioning on by chance?
Yes, the closed caption is on. You can't see it?
I cannot, but that's okay. No worries.
Can anyone else not see the closed caption?
I was only able to see it once I pressed clicked on the closed caption.
Got it. Yep. So down, just so you guys know, if anybody needs the closed caption, they are down in the menu bar next to the Q&A section and the raise hand. So if anybody needs the closed caption, please let us know. Thank you. Thank you, Kennedy.
No problem. Yeah, I did turn it on. I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
No, that's okay.
Okay.
All right. Next, we can move on to roll call. Okay. We're going to have Kennedy start that off. So when she does call your name, please unmute, state your first and last name, and where you are coming in from today.
Alrighty. Chair Damon.
Did not expect that off the top. Good afternoon. My name is Zach Damon. I'm chairman. I'm coming to you from Ann Arbor, Michigan, Washtenaw County.
Vice Chair Keeler.
Vice Chair. I am Vice Chair Keeler, and I'm coming from my front room in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Commissioner Solomon.
Matthew Solomon, Commissioner, Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Commissioner Hawkins. Commissioner Mozak. Commissioner Poster. Commissioner Gossage. Commissioner Ratcliffe.
Hello, this is Commissioner Ratcliffe. I'm calling in from Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Commissioner Packard.
Commissioner Packard, right here in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Commissioner Chambers.
Hello, Elena Chambers, Commissioner, calling in from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and I apologize. I'm having some connectivity problems today, so if there's any problem, that's probably why.
Commissioner Buis?
Hi, Lori Buis, Commissioner in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
And Commissioner Ankenbauer. All right, roll call is complete. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Kennedy. Do
Commissioner
appreciate it.
Solomon, you have a question?
Just want to make sure you got Commissioner Mozak.
She called her.
Yes, I called her.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Kennedy. I do appreciate it. Next, we're going to go ahead and move on to public comment. For any of those individuals who are joining us today for public comment, please know that you have 3 minutes for your public comment. Kennedy, do we have anyone coming for public comment this afternoon?
At this time, we have no one online for public comment.
All righty. Next, we move on to the approval of the agenda. All of you should have received the agenda in advance for review. At this time, is there any discussion on today's agenda, or is there a motion to approve?
I'll move to approve.
All right, Larry moves to approve today's agenda. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Commissioner Ratcliffe seconds. All in favor of approving today's agenda, please unmute and say aye.
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 Aye. All right. Thank you, everyone. Today's agenda is approved. Next, we move on to the approval of the meeting minutes from April 17th, 2024. All of you, again, should have received information on this with the link to the minutes. So if there are any edits or additions to the meeting minutes of April, please bring that up now. If not, is there a motion to approve the meeting minutes from April?
I'll move to approve the meeting minutes from April.
All right, thank you,
I'll
Commissioner
second.
Ratcliffe. Okay, Vice Chairman seconds. Thank you, Larry. All in favor of approving the April meeting minutes from April 17th, please unmute and say aye.
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 Aye, thank you. The minutes are approved. Next, we move on to the fun part of our agenda today, the special presentation portion. Now, I have the distinct honor and privilege of presenting our new Chief of Police, Mr. Chief Andre Anderson, and I am delighted that he has taken the time out of his busy schedule to join us today. So good afternoon, Chief Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, Commissioner. I am grateful to have the opportunity to speak to all of you. I just want to introduce myself briefly, and I do apologize. I have another commitment that I have to attend here relatively soon, but I am your new police chief. I'm Andre Anderson. I've been in policing for the last 36 years. In 23 of those years, I've been served at the leadership level. I am from Arizona, originally from Philadelphia, but I spent 28 years of my law enforcement career in Arizona, where I've had an opportunity to lead every major leadership command in modern day policing, which has been quite the experience. I'm married. I have 3 children. I have 5 grandkids ranging from the age of 18 months all the way to 12 years old. And I want to tell you just this, why I am happy to be here. First of all, I believe that Ann Arbor is a destination place for those that find a need to be involved with progressive government. I see in this organization a need to serve as a servant leader, and one that allows for us to bring out the positive attributes of the leadership team and also serve with the community with respect to engaging community policing. I highly believe that we should be working closely with your commission, primarily because myself, as a minority, I am very astute to some of the discriminatory practices that take place in many different ways. And I also know that you are also aware of things that we have to work on collectively to address some of practices that allow for us to be better served to deal with some of the issues in our community. I am very pleased to be here, and I just wanted to briefly introduce myself, and I wanted to make sure that I'm available to talk about any disability concerns that we have within the city. I do have some experience working on a commission per se to address some of the concerns that deal with disability, and I am pleased to help you in any way I can. And that's my introduction, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you, Chief Anderson. I definitely do appreciate your remarks. I know you do have to get to another event, but I wanted to just open it up to the commission for one or two additional comments to you. Before I do that, I wanted to say that I hope to follow up with you. I know our commission has been instrumental in creating disability resource cards for officers to hand out to those that they do encounter in the community. And so I hope to be in touch with you and our commission to be in touch with you on revamping those disability resource cards, being able to get those printed and in officers' hands down the line if possible. With that being said, do we have one or two comments for the chief at this time? And please use the raise hand option if you're able, and Kennedy will call on you. All right. Looks like we have no additional comments, but Chief Anderson, I wanted to again just thank you for not only everything that you do, but your officers do on a daily basis to ensure that our city is safe and protected. And thank you very much. I do appreciate the sacrifice that all of you make. With that, please, if there is anything that you need from myself or the commission, please do not hesitate to reach out.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Damian. And I'm looking forward to getting the cards and making sure that our officers have them readily accessible so that we can distribute them. And I'm also looking forward to you providing any training, anything that we may learn on our end in order to be better servants to the community and also help with any issues regarding disabilities and ways that we can address some of the limited access that I believe folks in our community need. So thank you.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, Chief Anderson.
Welcome.
All right. Any other additional comments? Okay. Moving on to our next presentation, we have the Washtenaw Library for the Blind. Oh, I'm so sorry. Katie is out of town this week. Is that correct, Kennedy?
It's correct. So we have Jackie Best here.
Okay. Just wanted to double check. Sorry about that, Jackie. I just wanted to make sure I announced the right person. So we do have the Washtenaw Library for the Blind and Print Disabled, but we have Jackie Best filling in for Katie. Jackie, take it away, please. The floor is yours.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. I just have a couple upcoming events to highlight for you. On June 5th, we have our annual Visions Fair. It's from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. downtown library. This is our big event of the year. I hope some of you will attend. So the 2024 Visions Fair, we're going to feature our usual variety of exhibitors. They're going to demonstrate the latest products and services for the blind, visually impaired, and physically disabled. As always, we're going to have electronic readers, magnifiers, support services for the blind, Braille devices. We'll have a table discussing library services, CCTVs, leader dogs, and transportation services. Those will all be on display. We're going to have presentations on topics related to vision health services and assistive technology. And this year's presentation schedule includes a 12 p.m. Services of the Michigan Bureau of Services for the Blind Person's presentation. 1 p.m., an AI-powered visual assistive technologies from the UMich Human AI Lab presentation. At 2 p.m., we have a technology talk from Jade Meta AT guys. And at 3 p.m., assistive tech app roundup with WLBPD staff. So that's the library staff. And then in the meantime, we have an exciting program on Thursday, May 23rd from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the Pittsfield Library Branch, The Art of Keeping a Pocket Notebook. Pocket notebooks are a great distraction-free tool to capture things you want to remember. They can contain everything from to-do lists to travel logs to creative projects. Learn about the whys and hows of keeping a pocket notebook and leave with tools and inspiration to start on your journey. Stationery nerds, feel free to bring your notebooks, stickers, stamps, and other accessories to show off or swap. On Friday, June 7th, from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m., we're going to have an interactive movie experience, The Princess Bride. What could be more fun than watching The Princess Bride? Getting to be part of the action. We'll bring the scripts, the props, and you bring the energy. And just a reminder, we have WLB materials for WLBPD patrons, which you can order digital cartridges by calling 734-327-4224 or emailing wlbpd@aadl.org. To sign up for the Braille and audio reading services, which is BARD, to download your own books, you can visit nlsbard.loc.gov or call us at the library and we can assist with your application. And then 2 exciting new books that have been added to the Braille and Reading Downloads library in the last month. Imponderables, Answers to the Most Perplexing and Amusing Mysteries of Everyday Life by David Feldman. Make sense of those amusing mysteries that surround our daily lives. Look around you. The world is full of perplexities, puzzlements, and peculiarities, all just begging to be explained. Imponderables provides the answers. Inside these pages are innumerable insights into nature, language, science, and daily living, written both to entertain and enlighten. And another new book, my last update for this month, is Reader's Block, A History of Reading Differences by Matthew Rubery. What does the term reading mean to you? This alternative history of reading tells the stories of atypical readers and the impact had on their lives by neurological conditions affecting their ability to make sense of the printed word. From dyslexia, hyperlexia, and alexia to synesthesia, hallucinations, and dementia, the book's focus on neurodiversity aims to transform our understanding of the very concept of reading. Drawing on personal testimonies gathered from literature, film, life writing, social media, scientific journals, medical case studies, and other sources to express how cognitive differences have shaped people's experiences both on and off the page, Matthew Rubery contends that there is no single activity known as reading. Instead, there are multiple ways of reading, and for that matter, not reading, despite the ease with which we use the term in conversation and act as if everyone else does it in essentially the same fashion. Pushing us to rethink what it means to read, Reader's Block moves towards an understanding of reading as a spectrum that is capacious enough to accommodate the full range of activities documented in this fascinating and highly original book. So if anyone's interested in getting added to the list to have cartridges for those books for their digital their reading devices for WLBPD, you can give us a call. And if you'd like to download those to your iPhones, if you're already signed up for BARD, you can add those to your lists now. And if you'd like to get signed up for WLBPD, you can give us a call and we can get you signed up. And anyone who has questions about the Washington Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled, give us a call at 734-327-4224, and the library staff at Ann Arbor District Library can help you out.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jackie.
Yeah.
Always amazing and great things that the Washtenaw Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled is doing. So thank you. And yes, very excited for Visions coming up on June 5th. Really quickly, do you mind repeating when that Princess Bride activity is, please?
Yes, of course. let's see, let me scroll back. Princess Bride is on Friday, June 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 in the downtown library lower level.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any
questions for Jackie at this time?
Vice Chair Keeler, you had your hand up?
Actually, it wasn't a question for her, but it was a question for procedure. And my question was, did we call public comment?
Yes, we did.
Oh, okay. I don't know why I missed it. Okay. And I'm looking forward to we call it vendor fair sometimes too, Visions.
Us too.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. All right. Wonderful. Okay. Next, moving on, we have the Disability Network Washtenaw Monroe Livingston report with Andrea. Andrea, good afternoon. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon. A couple of events I want to just highlight real quickly this afternoon. One is that with the hopeful onset of nicer, warmer weather, Disability Network Washtenaw Monroe Livingston has a few summer camps going on for youth and young adults, ages 14 to 26. There are 3 separate weeks where they can learn new skills, experience inclusive sports and arts programming, and of course, hopefully make some new lifelong friends. So registration is required. Each camp is its own individual week, so you can sign up for any or all of the weeks. It is $50 per person per camp. Spots are filling quickly, so if you're interested, I would encourage you to reach out sooner rather than later. You can give our office a call at 734-971-0277, and they can get you connected to getting registered for those camps. There's a visual arts camp June 24th through the 27th. The performance arts camp is July 8th through the 11th, and the sports camp is August 12th through the 15th. And then in between and on the heels of all of that activity, you heard me mention this last month, but we are excited, and it is one of our bigger events, and it is our ADA celebration. It is Friday, July 26th from 3 to 7 p.m. at our Ann Arbor location on Research Park Drive. All kinds of activities and food trucks and all kinds of things happening at that event. It is open house style, so you're welcome to come and go during those 4 hours for games, activities, food, all kinds of fun events, along with a celebration and acknowledgement of the 34th anniversary of the Americans with Disabilities Act. And that is all I have today for the commission, unless there are any questions.
Okay. Thank you very much. Oh, we have a hand up. Kennedy?
Commissioner Ratcliffe?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the dates of the camp dates, please?
Sure. So the camp dates are for youth and young adults with disabilities, ages 14 to 26. There's a visual arts camp, June 24th through the 27th. There's a performance arts, theater, that sort of thing. And that is July 8th through the 11th. And then the sports camp is August 12th through the 15th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Anything else for Andrea at this time? All righty. Well, thank you so much. And I look forward to definitely attending the July 26th ADA celebration. Very, very exciting. I hope our whole commission can turn out for that. It really is a wonderful, great event. And thank you, Andrea, and to all the staff at Disability Network, Washtenaw, Monroe, and Livingston for all the great work that they continue to do.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Next, we have the Partners in Access Committee report with Vice Chair Larry Keeler. Larry?
Well, we had a very short meeting, and I did get an update on some parking things that I'll do next month. I got some pics to send people for the Main Street parking. I think it was Main Street parking. I gotta look, but last month we just discussed, or last week we just discussed doing some Commissioner Achenbauer, or I keep pronouncing his name wrong, so I'll call him Commissioner Sam. He said that was okay, and he wants to do some research on ways to get. He wants to take a survey on how to get people to, especially businesses, to submit any accessibility concerns, issues, or things that might be relevant for the list. He wants to put together a list of so you can look to see who's got accessibility issues in town. So he wants to start research on that, and we discussed that, and that was about it. We had a very short meeting. It was just him and I. And some other people have been interested in getting the link sent to that reminder for what day it is on the at the beginning of the month. So I don't know if you could take names, Kennedy, to I'll try to get it out to them too, but it's second Thursday of the month at 5 p.m. is when we meet. And so if someone could get the access numbers out, I can probably also forward them. That would be nice if we could actually get a good meeting going on. Thank you.
Yes, I can do that. I will, for the next month meeting, I will send a reminder out to the commission of the meeting and also provide them with the meeting link and information.
And as I did have a question. There was a question if anybody could just come to the meeting. And I said, well, we do have an official committee, but any commissioner is welcome to join anytime. So if I know our chairman shows up on occasion, and we've had a few of the other commissioners drop in, and they're more than welcome. It's just a committee meeting, and if you feel a need to speak to the committee and you haven't, if you find out something between now and then and you want to speak to the committee and come to the committee meeting, it's there. You can just drop on in.
Commissioner Solomon, you have your hand raised?
I had a kind of question for Commissioner Keeler. So would the idea be to create a database of locations in the city that are or are not accessible according to ADA guidelines?
I think that's what he wants to do. He wants to put a list together, like let's say you're going to go to the Pretzel Bell. And you could look the Pretzel Bell up and see what their accessibility, see how accessible they were or weren't. For example, maybe they have an accessible bathroom, that you're looking to see if they got an accessible bathroom, or if they got a way to get in. I've been there, and they do, but I'm just using it as an example for a downtown location that someone might want to go to. And so you'd be able to look up to see what kind of accessibility issues, or if we get some more stuff going on with the Michigan Theater, for example, we might be able to list what kind of equipment they have or what they don't, whether they have audible description or that kind of thing. So, yeah, there would be a database. You would just look stuff up before you went.
That seems really useful. I had a kind of related question. I hope it's not new business. The question is the same true of public buildings like City of Ann Arbor buildings, public school facilities? Is there any way to kind of look up and see to what extent, let's say, a public school is accessible or not accessible either in city records or elsewhere?
That's what we'll be looking into. I'm not sure yet, but that's what we'll be looking into. And we want to look into the optimal goal is to try to put all these places on. I mean, maybe you can look up, hopefully if we get it down, you can look at school. We may have different categories like restaurant, school, businesses, grocery stores, that sort of thing. I could see divided up into categories if we put the list together and keep adding to it. But right now it's just in its infancy. It's Commissioner Sam's idea, and we're going to start to run with it, we hope.
So as far as you know, there's no place to go to see whether or not a building is ADA compliant or not.
As far as I know, I can get in touch with our coordinator, Tracy Bird, and find out if she knows anything, and we can work with her. That's a good question.
Larry.
I'll find out the answer.
Larry. Appreciate it.
Commissioner Buis?
Just a comment that as this thought moves forward, I would love to see consideration of lighting conditions for our low vision community friends and neighbors. I think that could be something that's really useful, particularly as you're thinking about restaurants and other entertainment type spaces. I know those can be really challenging to navigate for people with low vision.
I would agree with you, but I don't care no matter how hard you turn up the lights, I ain't going to see it. But, I do get it. Yeah. We'll put that on as a consideration because you're right. You'll be able to need to see in those places if you can.
Commissioner Ratcliffe?
Two questions. The first one is this something that is going to be posted like on the city website?
I'd like to do that. I suppose so far we both like to do that.
And secondly, I don't think it's as much a question as it is just a point of information. If you're looking at accessibility strictly as like ADA and building code, then there might already be information on, is it Stream, and I think it's called E-Track It, which was what the city used before Stream, when they would do building inspections. When a building,
if you could email me a link to that, I might want to look at that.
Yeah, because like you can look up, what, like if it's something like, I think a few places I saw on there, like if they had like a ramp installed in certain things, but it's somewhere, it might be a starting point. And it's also built on, it's built off of what the city uses, which is that's a product called Granicus. And there might actually be something in the suite of tools that they have that there's access to, that might have other options built in that we're not using or didn't know were available to use for a project like that.
That sounds like a good resource, but eventually I'd like to be able to go to one website and find it all out.
Yeah, so you would look at, it's under the was it building services for the city, and you might want to start with just contacting them and seeing what's available or how that can be worked with.
Sounds good to me.
Just thinking about the need for a process for updating information that can be going in and out of date. So thinking about facilities that maybe there's an elevator that's out of service and it is repaired, just some kind of process for businesses or who else to say, hey, we've updated this issue. Or as people learn that they're technically in compliance, but for whatever reason, something is temporarily not functioning, that it gets fixed.
Commissioner Solomon?
Agreed.
I just wanted to request that Commissioner Ratcliffe, when you do share that information that you do have about either eTrackIt or building services or Stream, if you could possibly share that with the entire commission, because I am interested in investigating this starting point as well.
Okay, I'll send an email to the whole commission with the links.
Commissioner Packard?
Yes, I agree with Commissioner Solomon. It's a great idea, and whatever we can do to help it move forward. And I just had a question: like, what if we were to identify an accessibility upgrade idea, such that we've talked about theaters, and wanted to maybe talk with someone with a business about upgrading and making an advancement. And we wanted to set up a meeting. What would be the best way to go about that to possibly involve the commission? Like, for example, if we were to talk with someone with one of the theaters in the area about making some of these advancements, as a commissioner, would there be a way to maybe set up a meeting to do something to move forward like that? In that or in any kind of a business, would that be something that we would want to bring up and maybe notify the group or something? Or I'm just looking at ways to move forward, making advancements with area businesses that we may see or identify. I think we notified the commission of what we wanted to do, and then with the commission's permission, that since we're representing the commission as with their commission, we probably could, or with their permission, we could probably set up a meeting. That would mean to notify Commissioner Chairman Damon and the rest of the commission, and then we could probably set that up on our own, I would guess, provided we have the backing of the commission and they know, speaking for, because we'd be speaking for the commission. Right. Okay.
In other words, if we set it up on our own and just walk in there, that might not be good. We'd have to clear it to the commission.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I was just looking at, I don't know if we could set up a meeting with someone within, like we talked about, the theater in town. If we could set up a meeting and do that with the commission's approval. Just something to move forward to talk about. So, and I know we can talk about it at the Partners and Access meeting as well. So, thank you.
And the other thing I have to say is that, as far as I know, we can be operating through the whole summer. So we may have our meetings in July and August, provided that there's enough interest and topic to cover over the summer. So as far as I know, we should be having a meeting in July and August of this year.
Commissioner Mozak?
Yeah, I just got off my phone. I've been in transit this entire time, which is why I didn't respond to your call to acknowledge me at the beginning, because I don't think it's safe to unmute while I'm driving. I just want to let you know that I'm here now in my apartment on the computer, but I'm still logged in as a guest and not as a commissioner.
I will promote you.
Thank you.
Okay. Well, a lot of good topics here. I do advise that, that all of these topics, including the meeting for Michigan Theater and other topics discussed, that they definitely be brought forth at the Partners and Access Committee meetings, and then hopefully that can get scheduled. Absolutely. All right. Thank you to Larry and Commissioner Ackenbauer and all on the Partners and Access Committee for all of their work. Next, but I don't think Commissioner Hawkins is online, but community engagement is next. Kennedy, do we have Commissioner Hawkins present?
Nope, she is not here.
Okay, thank you.
And she was not at the meeting either. So.
Okay. Thank you, Larry. I do appreciate that.
Well, I did say that not for the purpose of that, but for the purpose she usually attends that meeting, and so if she were to attend that meeting, I might have been able to sort of give her a report or at least part of it. So that's why I mentioned it. Not to shame her or anything like that.
No. I listen. I didn't take it like that, and I hope other commissioners and community members didn't either. I did not take it in that regard. So I just appreciated you being so on top of it. Thank you, Larry. With that, don't go anywhere, Vice Chairman Keeler, because I wanted to talk about recruiting activity.
So far, I have got no applications, no applications, no anything at the moment. We do and will use the Visions as also a recruiting tool. I think we will be introducing people to our commission at Visions and giving them some ideas and polling to see if we get any more commissioners, any new commissioners, and hopefully we'll have our cards to pass out. And I forgot how many openings we still have on the commission. And I think you can go to, go ahead.
We currently have no vacancies on the commission.
Okay, so it's not a big hurry, but I think you can go to a2.gov and look under boards and commissions for the application to the Commission on Disability Issues if you need to do that, or I think you can contact the mayor's office still. And that's all I have there.
All right. Well, thank you, Larry, and I do appreciate all your efforts with recruiting activity. Kennedy, you don't have to name any names, but do we have any terms that will be ending in May?
Currently now, no. I believe all of the reappointments have been assigned. I know we have one commissioner who did not do reappointment. So once their term is completed at the end of this month, then we will have a vacancy.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any pending applications at this time?
No pending applications currently.
Thank you. Okay.
That's good to know, because when we're talking, well, we may have an opening by coming up around Visions, and anybody else we could put on a backup list. I don't know if we've ever put people on a backup list before, because we've always had openings, but that's a good thing to ask about. What are we going to tell people if we got a full commission and they're still interested? Are we going to have them sign up as you'll get your call in the future? How are we going to do that?
Well, that's a good question, Larry. I mean, my opinion is that, you never want to discourage anyone from applying, and you never want to, say that a community member could not submit an application. But what I would like to see happen is that if we do have individuals that do apply, and unfortunately there just is no seat, we kind of, can let them know that we've received their application, and then the moment that, seats do, come up vacant, we can then consider their application. But I also don't know if there's an expiration period for applications that are submitted. Kennedy, do you know that? Like if people apply, do applications expire?
Nope. So their application is stored and is kept in a system called Granicus. That is a system that I manage. So the application stays there. Once a
Okay.
vacancy occurs on the commission, I then, those applications that is received by the commission are sent off to the recruitment committee. They will review the applications, interview those applicants, and then decide from there who they would like to move forward in the process to become a commissioner. But all applications are in Granicus.
Okay. Understood.
That will leave an extra issue of us checking on the application though, because if the application, let's say, has been in there for a year and a half, we'll see it. We'll still have to contact them and see if they're still interested, or maybe they were a student and moved on, or you know what I mean. We'd have to check on the.
So yeah, that's
extra step we didn't take. That's it.
Yep. So once the recruitment committee reviews an application, they would then decide to let me know who to contact by reviewing the applicant's information on the application to let me know who they'd like to move forward in the process.
Thank you, Kennedy. I do appreciate it. So Larry, I would just say, and I'm interested, what other commissioners would say, but I would say we don't want to turn anybody away, and then, have them apply, but then, once we, have openings and, we can follow up, and if their contact information is expired, unfortunately it's expired, or, if they're no longer interested, they're no longer interested. But, we never want to say, hey, sorry, don't apply. I would just say in terms of recruitment, hey, thank you so much for your interest. Please apply. But currently we do not have any openings. And as soon as we do, we can let you know.
I would agree.
Okay. All right. Anything else on recruiting activity?
No.
All righty. Well, Larry, don't go anywhere. You're a popular guy today because we now have the Transportation Commission update.
Yeah, and we discussed a lot of budget-related issues with special revenue under Act 51 based on gas taxes, and it's used for most things in transportation. Somewhere around 41 to 60 million, and it gets applied to special funds like getting APSs and that kind of thing. And then we talked about, I guess there's a special fund for figuring out making it easier to get downtown easy. And then there's updates on how the crash data is collected, but that was a long and drawn out thing. But they're adding different ways to collect crash data. They're kind of expanding the way they collect it. And then for updates, there was no changes from the last month. State and Hill is being worked on. Medical Center Drive is starting to be worked on. Miller and they're working out at Miller on Central Miller and Pittsfield, and the city council passed a resolution to help the ride in the 23 corridor. Apparently they want to, I don't know as much about it, but I do know something that they're trying to be able to run some of the buses up 23 to make a quicker route, more of an express route for some of the buses. And they're still working on making vehicles green. And I mentioned our concerns about the sidewalks. I forget where they were, but I mentioned our concerns. about the sidewalks we had last time about making. Oh, yeah, the grocery carts and businesses on the sidewalks. So I mentioned that, but it was just a mention, and I haven't heard anything back. And the next Transportation Commission meeting is tonight, and it starts at 7. And I don't have the numbers available right now, but I could, well, I do. But if you want to attend that, I can send you a link. And that's it. Oh, you can also listen to it on CTN.
Okay.
And that's it.
Okay. Thank you, Larry. I do appreciate your report, and thank you for all your work on the Transportation Commission. All right, next, moving forward, we have the U of M Council for Disability Concerns meeting update with Commissioner Matthew Solomon. Matthew?
Thank you. The meeting was canceled this month, so there is nothing to report.
Oh, no. Okay, can I ask why it was canceled? Was it due to just lack of attendance, or what happened?
I believe the chair of the committee was having some extenuating circumstance.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, sending the chair, I won't name names to be respectful, but sending the chair of the Council for Disability Concerns all of our best, and thank you, Commissioner Solomon, and all in the past, and all who sit on the Council for Disability Concerns, all of their work. We definitely appreciate working with them and being kept in the loop. A lot of great work over there. So thank you, Matthew. Next, we have the organizational equity update with Tracy Bird. Hi, Tracy. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, commissioners. Thank you for having me. I don't know. I actually wrote up, and I will start with sending monthly updates on things that have happened out of this office. I don't know, is it appropriate to share my screen to show that to you, or do you want me just to email you my monthly updates?
Great question. I would say, Kenny, if we can give her, for the good of the meeting today, the opportunity to share that, I think it would be great. And then what I think could happen going forward, though, is that if you send that to either Kennedy or myself, we can actually put it in the agenda. Okay. So then going forward, it can just be linked in the agenda, and then all of us can kind of view it as you report, so that we can have it.
Okay, so I'll go ahead and let's see. Are you able to see? I don't know what you're able to see.
I can see that. Yeah.
Is it because for some reason it's not coming up on my screen as I'm sharing it? Is it the April Codi meeting? Is that what I'm seeing, or what you're seeing? Or
yes. Yes.
Okay, that's not what I want to show. My apologies. So what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and just go down the list very quickly for time. So for the accessibility coordinator report, I broke it down into 4 categories, and that is under community engagement, networking, internal support, and training. Training would be my individual training. So I will tell you that for community engagement, I reached out with and I met with Lauren Ruiz, who is the ADA coordinator in Evanston, Illinois. I had been introduced to her by our ADA consultant from the Parks Transition Plan, Chewy. He came last month to our meeting. And then I also contacted both the Great Lakes ADA chapter for some guidance for some different issues that came up. I also contacted the Department of Justice as well. That's not a part of this report. That just actually happened yesterday. I was also able to meet with the Ann Arbor area Ann Arbor Area Transportation Authority on a couple of different issues. I met with their paratransit manager to give them resources for the ADA built environment, as well as I was able to follow up with an accessible bus stop. They had a bike lane delineator and an individual who was using a wheelchair. The bus was not able to come out and deploy their ramp, so we were able to get that taken care of right away. I thank you, Kennedy, very much for sharing that screen. You can see that I did a lot of networking in the area over this last month, because I don't think that, we can, I think I said this before, it's so very important in this role to make connections in the community. Listening to your discussions about a lot of the different things that you're planning and wanting to do, I'm fully on board with and will support any way I can. I would suggest Destination Ann Arbor and the DDA for some resources for the accessibility for private businesses. I did look at Ann Arbor, Destination Ann Arbor. They do have an accessibility page. I think that it could be a little bit better. So I think, if we want to work with those particular agencies, that would be wonderful. I actually have a meeting with DDA this Friday to go over some things. So internal support, I was able to complete training with over 100 park. That's with our public pools staff. That's cashiers and lifeguards. I did ADA training with them this last month. I've met with internal departments for guidance on how to proceed with ADA questions on 5 separate matters. And I've met with public services to discuss the city easement on a new development at Viridian. And I know that, thank you, I know a couple of individuals and agencies had written letters of support for some materials that they will be using as part of that easement. And then I was able to sit on interview panels for our deputy parks manager position. So that is, as far as that goes, my April report. I also am going to be sending to you all my strategic plan that I have written for the Office of Accessibility, and I will just send that out to you, Kennedy, Zach, as well as the commission's email address, so it could be part of the minutes for the meeting, if that is okay. Yeah.
No, that's perfect. And my goodness, how busy you've been, Tracy. Absolutely.
Makes the days go by faster.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do want to report on something else. I did get the final approval from legal that on July 15th, we will be, and I'm inviting Kodai. I want you all to be there. We're going to have an art exhibit from the artist at Disability Network are providing artwork, and that is going to be displayed in council chambers. And being that it's Disability Pride Month, on that day, there will be a proclamation, Disability Pride proclamation read by the mayor. So I will remind everybody on next month's meeting, but also want to invite you. That will be on July 15th at the City Council meeting. That'll be happening.
Outstanding. Thank you. July 15th, Disability Pride Day, and then a proclamation, well deserved, by Mayor Taylor. Thank you so much. And yes, thank you so much for keeping all of us informed and for the great invite, Tracy. And thank you for all the work that you've been doing as the city ADA coordinator. Great job. It seems like we've got some comments. Kennedy?
Commissioner Solomon?
This was in the way of a question, whether Tracy Bird could perhaps shed light on the question that came up earlier in the discussion about, is there some place where we can go, for instance, to confirm that the public schools in Ann Arbor, each one is in fact ADA compliant or not? Is there some resource where we can just check that straightforward information? Is the building ADA compliant or not?
I'm sorry about that. Since Ann Arbor Public Schools is separate from the city of Ann Arbor, I do not have that information. As far as the city-owned buildings, I do not physically have all of that information. I have been gathering the transition plans that the city wrote in 1995 and updated in 1999. I am addressing those and will be moving forward hopefully within a year, looking at the transition plans so we can, to see one, if we need to do a full revamp of those, or if along with our capital improvement projects, can we use our transition plans that are older and use the projects that are coming up to show the public how we are making things more accessible. I have not gotten an answer on that yet. To be quite honest, I haven't finished a lot of my training, and I have a training on transition plans in June. So I'm hoping to have a better understanding how I could do that. But as far as our City Hall and the Justice Center, those are fully accessible to the public. And I know that the fire department here is that 5th is accessible to the public. But I can't speak for all of the city-owned properties at this point in time. They're, as far as being able to get into buildings, yes, but are they fully accessible? That I can tell you, no, there's going to be some things that are not compliant, like maybe a doorknob or a light switch, things of that nature. Does that somewhat answer your question?
I guess I have two follow-ups. One is, is a full audit in order to kind of do an accessibility audit for these city facilities in the interest of full 100% ADA compliance. And then the second question is, as our kind of liaison, some sense to the outside world, how would you suggest I solicit or research that information about Ann Arbor Public Schools?
I guess I would start by going to their website. Liz Margolis is their safety officer. She is the one who did walkthroughs with the clerk's office and myself for the February elections for accessibility. So I think that might be the best person to contact. And to answer your question about, I am so sorry, Commissioner Solomon, but to answer your question about a full audit for our city-owned buildings, that would be the transition plan, like doing a self-evaluation and then writing a transition plan. I'm sorry, I use terminology that is not, that you guys may not know. My apologies. But yes, I'm trying to see if a full audit does need to be done, or if we can work from the existing self-evaluations. Again, it was updated in 1999. So those are quite old. From my research, I do believe that they do need to be redone, but that also takes additional planning, money, and such. I'm not saying it can't be done. I'm just saying that would mean that it would. I don't want to wait to do something because we're waiting for 2 years for something to be put in a budget to do a self-evaluation or an audit. I want to look at what we have now so we can start moving forward and not wait to make the adjustments that need to be done.
Please continue to keep us posted. Thank you.
I will.
Thank you very much. And thank you to Matthew for those insightful questions. And thank you to, again, to Tracy Bird, our ADA coordinator, for all of the efforts and work. And, I know it can be confusing sometimes, Ann Arbor Public Schools, it's like, oh, well, can't, the commission, or, can't we just be informed on that? But, there's a lot of different, coverages and jurisdictions that we can be involved with, others that not so much. And so it's difficult to really tell, right, Tracy, from my experience and from my opinion, what jurisdictions we do have at times and what we do not. But we'll continue to hopefully be kept in the loop. And thank you, Tracy.
You're very welcome. It's my pleasure.
Commissioner Packard. Rob, your hand is up?
Yeah. Tracy, I thought you mentioned a site earlier where we could look up ADA compliance, and I don't know if you could repeat that. A place where you could look up what the requirements are.
If you, Ann Arbor, our destination Ann Arbor is a site, let's see. Yeah, it's just annarbor.org.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll check it out. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right. Thank you, Tracy, for the organizational equity report. Next, moving on to the city personnel report with Kennedy Cummings. Kennedy?
Hey everyone. So currently right now I have no city personnel reports or update at this time. As always, I'm here to help and assist you all. So if you guys need anything or have any questions, just feel free to shoot me an email and I'm happy to be here, but no updates at this time.
Thank you, Kennedy. We move on to the chair report. And a little bit of what I was going to report on got touched on earlier in different areas. One, during the Washtenaw Library for the Blind and Physically Disabled regarding visions in our table, June 5th. I just want to make sure that we can also have a good table. And so I was going to ask the commission, Kennedy, I'm still working it out with you in terms of what our materials are. I know you did look, we do have some past flyers, and then we did have a table sign that was made in the past, but I'm going to have to follow up on that and find out where that is. I hope it didn't get discarded. But one of the big things I wanted to ask from one of the commissioners is that since we do have some current flyers that are printed, I do not know the exact number of those flyers, but are there commissioners willing to stop by City Hall to grab those flyer materials from Kennedy that day so that when we set up our table, we can have those flyers available at our table at the library? I assure you I will be there the entire day for check-in and for the welcome period and all of that. It is just challenging for myself to carry the different info table materials like while walking with crutches. So I just wanted to ask if there are any volunteers from the commission to get those materials from Kennedy.
Tracy, you have your hand up?
If there are no commissioners that are able to do that, I am happy to do so. I will be volunteering at Visions that day for the library, so I'll be there from the beginning till the end as well. So I can grab those if you'd like me to.
Oh, awesome! And thank you, Tracy. Yeah, that's great. How does the commissioners, are you okay with that? Did any commissioners feel strongly in wanting to do it? Or are you okay with having Tracy? Hey, Rob, go ahead.
Yeah,
Vice Chair Keeler, he had his hand up first. Vice Chair Keeler.
Well, I was just going to say that I was going to ask what time, but thank you, Tracy, because I was thinking about coming later in the afternoon. I might not get there till like noon, 12:30, and I'll probably look around and hit our table, look around and grab a dog and stuff like that. So I will be there probably around noonish. So thank you, Tracy, because I was going to volunteer to do it, but I didn't feel like being down there all day because I had other things to do. So, and the other statement I had is, didn't we make some Braille copies too? See if we got the Braille copies down there. I think maybe you might have them down there somewhere, Kennedy, in our stuff. If you find the stuff we had, the flyers, I think we had some Braille ones too.
Yep, I found those in the drawer as well as the older flyers as well. So I do have those.
Oh, thank you.
So those are
thank you.
No
So those should be a part of that packet.
Okay. Commissioner Packard?
I just wanted to say that I'll be there that morning and I can help out and get there early. If you need any help, Tracy, and I can carry and do whatever as long as it doesn't involve driving for the safety of the community. I won't be driving, but
I'll do
I
that.
can help you out if there's anything you can do. I'm glad to start early and help in any way you all need.
Thank you, Rob. It'll be great to have you, and I'm excited to have all of the commissioners there who are willing to help. And I wanted to get some suggestions, by the way, because it is helpful to always have a little munchie there or grab while people go by. And so I was gonna pick up some munchie for the table, but I wanted to ask, do we have any suggestions on what candy we should have? I was thinking I think last year we had like Smarties and Three Musketeers, mostly because I was unsure of nut allergy type of things. So I tried to avoid anything with a nut in it or that type of ingredient. But do we have any suggestions, and then I can pick that up?
Commissioner Chambers, you
Oh,
have
we
your
had
hand
more stuff.
raised.
Sorry, I had a question that was unrelated to the candy selection, so I'm happy to wait until we finish this conversation first.
I mean, it's formality, but no problem. I guess, so yeah, I was planning on doing Smarties and Three Musketeers again. How do we feel about that? Do we think that's going to be engaging, or should I get something better?
Well, we're giving it away, so it doesn't matter. I'd probably throw some sugar-free candy in there too, for people who might, have diabetic issues. Throw a little bit of that in there too.
Okay. Could I ask, is there anyone that could bring bowls for us to put the candy in? Again, it just comes down to me not being able to carry the bowls while I'm in transit. So could somebody bring a couple of plastic bowls or candy bowls or something? Well, I'm sure I can find a couple. I'll see if I can throw them in a bag.
Well,
I can bring some.
I got a couple. Yeah, I got a couple. I'm just not going to be there that early, so.
Well, no, Rob, if you don't mind bringing a couple, that'd be great.
No problem.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right, that settles the candy dispute. All right, Elena, you had a question.
I did. Sorry. Thanks. I was just wondering, is it too late to sign up to attend that event with the commission? And is there anywhere that we need to formally put our name down if we want to do that?
Great question. What I can do is I will send an email to Katie, and I will CC you on that, so that the library can know that we're adding one more person. I believe, Lori, that was kind of the processes I think that we did for you, correct? And so, no problem. Elena, it would be great to have you at the table whenever you're able to join. I think the more the merrier to be able to be at our table, to converse with others as they come by, talk about accessibility, talk about what we're doing, and engage the community in conversation. Yeah, that would be great. So I'll send an email to Katie. Katie is out of town. I don't know when she gets back, but I'll send the email tomorrow at some point, letting the library know that you'd like to be present for that and sign up.
I think the only real big deal anyway is that she would get the free lunch. I think it wouldn't matter if she shows up, but I think she'd get the free lunch if she wants it.
Oh, well, I think I actually will be there later in the day for the last couple of hours, so that might not even be a concern, but thank you so much for sending
Hey,
me.
they got hot dogs anyway, so. And those are pretty good, so.
Thanks.
All right, but no problem. And then Commissioner Chambers, just for the email, what time would you like to volunteer? What time are you thinking? Commissioner Chambers.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was I muted?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Yeah. So I was thinking, probably from 2 to 4, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I can put that in an email to Katie.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Yep. Okay. That is all that I have really. For the chair report, all I was going to say is that, I really hope that we can make the ADA celebration coming up in July. I think that will be, a very, very important event for us, the 34th ADA celebration on July 26th, for all of us to show up to and be a part of. I'm very proud of all of you on the commission, so I really want to be able to show all of you off, introduce all of you to, different organizations around the community, and talk about the work that, all of you have done and contributed to. So I hope all of you can find some time July 26th to come out to that event. Other than that, I just wanted to say in closing of my chair report, thank you all for always putting up with all of my emails to clue you in on all kinds of things going on around the community, as well as all the way from the top. It's important, I think, for our commissioners to stay informed on what's going on in a community-wide level, statewide level, and a federal level in terms of disability, because it all is part of the tree. So I appreciate all of you putting up with all of that. I hope that it's beneficial for all of you to be clued in with that information. And that is my chair report. Next, we're going to move to the city council update. And council member Edwin actually informed me right before the meeting that they could not attend, but they wanted me to update the commission on her behalf. So I'm going to go ahead and do the report. So first of all, I did inquire, as well as council member inquired to Milton Dahoney about the commission having a budget for different things, for flyers to be printed, for info table materials to be printed, for operating costs, and for us to do, different work. I believe that should be, something that the city contributes to. Obviously we're public servants. We do this out of the, goodness of the future and the goodness of the community. But after a while, and after it coming out of our pocket for a good amount of time, it's definitely, time for, us to inquire to the city. So council member also inquired that a 2.5K budget be asked for and made to Milton Dahoney for approval. And in that ask, Mr. Dahoney also indicated that any operational costs for us doing this work as public servants for the community should indeed be covered. So he also did say that if we ever have any questions, just to reach out to him. And also, if there are different events and issues of travel comes up with commissioners, that we again should reach out to him, because we want to be able to, going forward in the future, make different, community-wide events around the community to make sure that we have info tables, or that the commission is present at different, advocacy events, because that presence is important. The second point is that July is, as Another, as Tracy mentioned earlier, July is Disability Pride Month. So again, there is a proclamation that is going to the city that's going to be worked on with different organizations around the state. And they're trying to have another proclamation submitted. They would like, the Disability Caravan is going to be in Ann Arbor during the last week of Pride Month on July 29th to August 2nd. And I believe that Disability Network is going to be hosting them. So the question from council member is, what can Kodai do as a commission to help out with this? Is there an event that we can come to with our flyers or information? So, and that's the week of July 29th to August 2nd. So as of right now, I am not sure on the calendar of what kind of events could be going on, but I can double check and be in contact with council member about that. And then if there's anybody that's interested in accompanying myself or other commissioners to some of those events with flyers and information, please let me know. And then the third point is that Councilmember Edwin is still working on the housing list project and Arbor Home Connect. They will keep us all updated on that. And then the final point is Councilmember is going to be meeting with the public works staff about a resolution to ensure accessibility features are more frequently plowed when it's snowing. So they're still working on the snow removal issues as well. And as usual, if anyone has any ideas or questions, please email Councilmember Ghazi Edwin so they can get your feedback. So that is all I have for the council update at this time. Next, I'd like to move to old business. Do we have any old business at this time?
Currently, we have no old business.
Okay, thank you, Kennedy. Any new business at this time?
Commissioner Radcliffe?
There was the back and forth earlier, so I'm just going to do it now during new business to make a formal ask. The city, by city law, requires that a rights and duties of tenants handbook be given out to, or be provided, I think is the term, to a physical copy be provided to each renter within the city. And then we also provide a PDF copy as well on the Renters Commission website. And one thing that I noticed is that there isn't anything in there at all about disability accommodations. And I was wondering if there is anyone from the commission or our ADA coordinator who could take a look and give some suggestions. We have a while until the next printing because we just did a printing. So it's not a rush, but it would be, it'd be great for the community to have a section in there about disability accommodations for people who are renting. Like I said, it's a part of the city charter. So yeah.
Yeah, great point, Commissioner Radcliffe.
Commissioner Bozak?
Oh, you're on mute.
There we go. The drive-in from Detroit was hard. I wanted to ask the Renters Commission, is it open to all renters? And what I mean by that is, are housing renters, housing commission renters included in the renter pool, or are they considered something different?
Was it a renter is a renter?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Oh, are you asking in terms of serving on the commission or just how we define how?
I was wondering, well, I was wondering if people who rent in through the Housing Commission also receive that material, if they know that they have that ability, that there's another resource to them besides like the Housing Commission, that sort of thing.
They're supposed to. Like I said, the rights and duties of tenants is a book. The Renters Commission, we receive complaints, including from people who live in, I guess, considered public housing or some housing where HUD vouchers, tax credit housing, I guess. And so we receive complaints. The Human Rights Commission, depending on what's happening, should also be receiving complaints as well. Yeah, but we need help with the booklet because, like I said, there's nothing in there about accommodations. That includes if you have yes, my service animal is supposed to be allowed in here with me. It's not in there.
I'm wondering if that might be, this is for Chair Damon and Mr. Keeler, if this might be an excellent place for the PIA to get involved and be able to start the work in a smaller setting. How quickly do you need, are they going to be wanting to reprint these books? Have they given you a deadline as we want this within 3 months or?
No, we don't have a deadline. Like I said, printings are it's on a rolling basis, and we just had a rather large printing. So, I mean, from what it sounds like is there's months until the next one. And if we can't meet it for that one, then of course there's the next deadline for printing as well. Okay. It's just, like I said, from what I understand, this is the first time that we're actually making that direct ask.
Thank you for...
Well, we got the summer to work on some of it. Anyway, so our committee's meeting. So if the need to work on it, if anybody wants to work on it, we can do that through our committee during the summer, and get a fair draft by September for the commission of what.
Yeah, this is Zach. I agree.
We can
go ahead, Larry.
I said we can have something to. If people want to work on it during the summer, we can do it through PIA and submit a thing in September.
Yeah, this is Zach.
September to work on it. Go ahead.
Thank you, Larry. I was just going to say, I agree with Commissioner Mozak and yourself that hopefully this particular point that Commissioner Ratcliffe has brought about, I think is, a good exercise for the Partners in Access Committee. But I just want to make sure again that this isn't something that is very, very time sensitive. Commissioner Ratcliffe, okay. But I just wanted to confirm that for the record, that there isn't any, deadline on this per se.
No, there isn't. Like I brought it up at our last Renters Commission meeting and was told that, yes, we just had a printing. And so whenever it can, we can get through it, then it'll just be ready for whatever printing comes up. I mean, because it also includes we don't even have a large print version of it. So
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Commissioner Radcliffe, are you on there?
Yeah.
Are you on that committee?
Yeah, I'm the new chair.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I think this is a great partnership between PIA and that committee. And so, Larry, please put that on the agenda for the next Partners in Access Committee meeting. And
I will do that.
Radcliffe, would you? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Larry.
Oh, I said I will do that.
Thank you. And then Commissioner Ratcliffe. Sorry, guys. No, for the viewers, we just have delays, so we like to talk over each other. I do apologize. and then, if we can invite Commissioner Radcliffe to be a part of, that meeting, so that they can attend and we can have adequate dialogue on this subject, I think that would be important. Tracy, you have a comment?
Yeah, I would suggest maybe contacting the Fair Housing Center of Southeastern Michigan to see about some verbiage on accommodations or modifications in housing, because housing is not covered under the ADA, but under fair housing. So it is also a very weird kind of thing that while somebody can request an accommodation or I should say modification, because in housing it's modification if you need something physically done, that if it is not a government-based or Section 8 type housing, that the modification can be done, but the onus is on the renter to pay for it in a lot of cases. But I would recommend contacting the Fair Housing Center of Southeastern Michigan, maybe for some verbiage on that.
Thank you, Tracy. That is a very good point. I really appreciate you bringing that to our attention, that ADA accommodation is required for government housing and subsidies, but not required for any traditional resident. That is on the resident, just for the record, to then pay for those quote unquote modifications to their residency. So thank you for bringing that up. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I would recommend reaching out to them as well, and hopefully that can be in the minutes, so that Larry, I think that would be something good to add to the PIA agenda or minutes, that when talking about the topic that Commissioner Radcliffe brought up with the renting, that you reach out and use that resource as well, so that we can kind of get a guide there on best practice.
I would agree. Oh, and I'd like to apologize in advance or again, because I do talk over people on occasion, but for some reason when I hit my hand raising thing, I might have to hit it 5 or 6 times, and it can take up to 2 minutes to raise my hand, and sometimes the subject is done by then. So I'm sorry about talking over something. I try not to, but
no,
you know how it is. You try not to. I'm just giving you the reason why sometimes I talk over. It's not because I'm trying to be rude or anything like that. I don't want the topic to change before my hand gets up.
Got it. Is there any accommodation that could possibly be provided to make it easier for you, Larry?
A new phone, but I can't afford that. I think it might be a phone issue. I'm not really sure. So. Okay.
All right. Well, thank you for making us aware of that, and I will keep that in mind. So thank you. Okay. Was that new business, Kennedy? I'm sorry.
Correct. So now we are on to communication.
Okay, thank you. Any communications this evening? All righty. Well, at this point, it is 5:34, and I would like to know, is there a motion to adjourn?
I will move to adjourn.
Okay.
I will second that motion.
All right.
Kathleen.
Commissioner Mozak seconds. All in favor of adjourning at 5:34 p.m. on May 15th, please unmute and say aye.
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 Aye. All right, folks. We are adjourned. Thank you very much to